It's always a great day when you can catch up with longtime friend of NPE, Dick Chilton. Hey, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking.
Why is it important to see your lifestyle and envision it in order to get to where you want to be?
Everything starts with vision. Every action is the ancestor of vision. That's Ralph Waldo Emerson stated that 100 years ago. And it's true in everything you do. And the interesting thing about vision is if you want to manage the future, you have to create it first. And we have a great tool in our brain, this power to vision or to envision, an act. And I think the interesting thing about it is all action, comes from vision, and the tool that's inside us or the mechanism that makes this work is immoral. It doesn't have morality. So it can either be bad or good. All of your thought process will drive you towards one or the other or somewhere in between. Okay. Mediocrity or great success. I think Napoleon said if you want to be great, you have to decide to be great.
Right.
And that's a part of using vision. And it's an absolute essential in the human experience to be able to manage this vision. It's like, say, well, I don't have a crystal ball, I can't see the future. Well, that's not true. We all have a crystal ball, and we can see the future. All we have to do is envision it. And when you do envision the future, there's an inner mechanism within us, a guidance system that'll drive us in that direction. And it works 24/7. We don't. But when we input that data into our database, if you will, or the hard drive, it'll drive us in that direction. Maxwell Maltz, his great book, Psycho-Cybernetics, explains it in great detail, and that's a must-read for everybody on this planet. You can't get to where you want to go without being able to manage your vision and how you want to get yourself there. For example, for a studio owner, you have to utilize and manage vision a couple different ways. One's long-term, and that's for your future benefit, how you want your lifestyle to be in 20 years from now, 5, 10, 20, whatever it might be. And then vision also works in the short period. In other words, when you get up in the morning, the first thing you should be doing is structuring your day, visually structuring your day. What is going to happen to me today? And what am I going to make happen today? And you envision, for example, how your company should run. And once you do that, it'll start happening because you'll drive yourself to that style of management.
Right.
You will become what you think of most.
Okay.
I hope I coined that phrase. I've been using it for years.
That's great.
And you will absolutely become what you think of most. Had I known this in my 20s, I would not be here sitting talking to you. I'd probably own this building and maybe half of Orlando. Because I didn't know this. I didn't understand how to manage vision.
Okay.
And it's like when I was in the Army, I was boxing and I had an opportunity for an Olympic tryout and just got my butt kicked. But I knew I was going to lose it before I ever stepped into the ring. I visualized myself failing. Well, guess what? What were my chances of winning? 0. I had no chance to win this thing. But I didn't know. I didn't have that concept in those days.
Besides golf, what do you do for fun?
For fun, I read a lot. I read probably a book a week.
Great.
And I balance the reading between biographies, historical fiction, the Wilbur Smith type book, or Patterson, whatever. And then I do read a lot of business books. I can't stay away from them.
Can you give us top three business books for fitness owners?
Sure. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and First Things First by Dr. Stephen Covey. First Things First it starts out as a time management book, but it's really not. It's a book about life. It's a book about balance, balancing personal versus business life, making sure that the ladder of success is against the right wall. You're climbing the right ladder, in other words. And then Napoleon Hill's book is just more fundamental. It's going the extra mile, doing all the things that you would want somebody else to be doing for you or with you as a partner, whatever. And then, of course, Maxwell Maltz's book is, Psycho-Cybernetics is a technique that we as humans really need to embrace. We've got to learn how to manage our thoughts, because a lot of people dump garbage in your brain. Just watch TV for an hour and you go berserk. If you didn't have tremendous filter systems in your brain, you'd go insane
Right.
after watching an hour of TV.
Right.
It's all crap. And if you watch it for a night, 4 hours, and the average male watches it 5.5 hours a day,
Oh,
and the average
What?
child now is spending 9 hours a day on visuals,
wow.
either games.
Right.
And-
iPads, iPhones.
And this is going to drive the human brain doesn't really know how to process this,
That's
all these
true.
images, because the images are fragmented. They don't move from point A to point B.
Right.
They're fragmented, so it doesn't work very well. But learning the technique of what Maxwell Maltz presents is, I think it's an absolute fundamental. Has to be done.
Okay.
So those are the 3 fundamental books that I believe in,
Very cool.
and I don't think you can do without them.